Earlier this month, one mod came out of nowhere for Grim Dawn that changed up every single class's skills and will return any experienced player back to the fun discovery portion of their favorite action RPG. This mod is Grim Dawn Reborn. This does change almost every skill and also add some new ones, but it isn't exactly a rebalance mod like some others that are out there, and more like a revamping mod that completely revamps every single class in the game with some extra tweaks to the base game's mechanics. This video is going to act as more of a first impressions and leveling experience, as I haven't gotten to experience the full extent of endgame yet, so I'm not sure how the hardest content in the game is going to feel with the new and revamped skills at the moment. Also, I haven't played with every single class yet, but the 4 classes I did get to play with were Soldier, Nightblade, Arcanist, and Inquisitor. The biggest feature of this mod is revamping nearly every single skill and completely adding new ones. And I'll have some examples of skill changes in the background of this video as it's going on. When it comes to the new skills, there seems to be a core idea of letting every single class have access to core mechanics like auto attack replacements and permanent player skilled pets. I personally like this idea, and I'd like to talk about Inquisitor's skill tree as an example with this. In the base game, Inquisitor has 3 powerful weapon pool skills that can make it great for an auto attacking build, but it lacks an auto attack replacer itself. This forces you into picking usually Demolitionist for Fire Strike, and maybe Shaman or Oathkeeper for their auto attack replacers, but Fire Strike is usually the main choice here. With the Grim Dawn Reborn mod, Inquisitor now has access to Luminari Shot, an auto attack replacer that synergizes with Inquisitor's elemental damage and requires a ranged weapon. This opens up basically every other class with your secondary, which really makes every build you play with this mod feel unique and personalized to your playstyle and preferences. It's no longer, I want to play a ranged auto attack build, so I guess I'm playing Purifier, but it's now, I want to play a ranged auto attack build, so I can pick Inquisitor and this other class that I want to do this with, or that class that I want to do that with, and so on, which I'm a big fan of. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the base game's designing and balancing classes this way, since I think that Grim Dawn is a beautifully designed game, but this mod just brings a new class design concept that's also very fun to play with and lets you relearn a lot of the new mechanics and skills. Like mentioned before, nearly every existing skill has been revamped to act differently. Most of these skills still keep their main purpose and damage type, but are changed in a way to make them feel unique and new, which brings us back to the discovery stage of Grim Dawn. Both Pneumatic Burst and Word of Renewal have been revamped to be permanent buffs that proc their old heals as a devotion type ability at 50% health, and are each given their own unique new devotion type proccing skills that make them feel even more unique. I'll have comparisons of vanilla skills and reborn skills all throughout the video like I mentioned to show those off, since I don't want this video to be too long, and there are a lot of changes to every single skill. You can actually check out their Nexus page, which I'll link in the description, to see every single change to every class if you do feel like doing that. Almost every skill has a new star icon on some of their passives, which is a new devotion-like mechanic that procs abilities on hit or upon being hit. These are basically ways to create completely new skills and passives, but I'm assuming because of Grim Dawn's modding tools not allowing you to create new GUI elements, the creator had to show these as devotions, and its implementation is a little bit clunky because you have to actually level the ability up to even see what the new skill does, and it doesn't really tell you what the ability is, and you have to kind of figure it out yourself. Some examples of this are Cadence having a AoE kind of blood style attack every 2 seconds, Luminari Shot throwing down a lightning bolt with a few seconds cooldown that deals extra elemental damage, and like mentioned before, Word of Renewal and Pneumatic Burst old heal effect being on a 50% health proc. While implemented a little bit clunky, I'm pretty sure it's just a technical obstacle that the creator has overcame as best as he could, and a lot of the new skills are really cool anyways, so I will give this little criticism a pass right now. I'd also like to mention that these new auto attack replacers and immortal player scaled pets are far from boring. It would have been simple for the mod creator to just add existing skills from devotions or items to change up their damage types to fit the classes that they're on, but he's gone above and beyond, making every new skill feel unique and cool to use. Like I mentioned before, Luminari Shot from the Inquisitor uses ranged weapons, deal elemental damage, and proc new abilities that reduce resistances and cast a lightning bolt for extra damage, which all blends really well with the Inquisitor. But my favorite auto attack replacer that I've played with is the Arcanist Panetti Strike. It seems like a weird idea to give a class solely focused on spellcasting and auto attack replacer, but this one really does make you feel like an all-powerful arcane mage with spiraling missiles and meteors proccing off your attacks with flat aether and elemental damage, all requiring a caster offhand to use. Another thing that every class is given, like I mentioned before, is an immortal player skilled pet to put them on par with Oathkeeper's Guardians of Empyrean, which is a really strong ability in vanilla. The only thing really like it in vanilla was the Blade Spirits in Nightblade. These new immortal player skilled pets aren't the most flashy, but they do get the job done, with the Arcanist Arcane Assassin flickering around and reducing resistances, and Soldier's Unyielding Companion making use of the vanilla game's Blade Arc and Force Wave to dish out physical and bleed damage. There are a few other small changes that this mod makes to the game, by giving you resist based on your class for each point you put into that class's level, enemy spawns increasing with player level, and some more that you can read about on the mod's Nexus page that'll be in the description. I've reached out to the mod creator on Discord to get some insight on what his goals were for this mod, and he replied with, "The general idea is to make the skills and class choices more diverse, and to make things more satisfying to use." And I think he's done a good job at doing that so far, since most of the new revamped abilities have made me go, "Oh, that's cool, I bet I can use this with that," and so on. One criticism I do have is that the balance seems to be off, with some skills like Word of Pain turning from a single target ability into an AoE aura with no energy cost that deals a whole ton of flat damage around you, and some other skills feeling either far too strong or far too weak. The Nexus page says that the initial damage numbers were inspired by vanilla values, and it's not his intention to make the game easier while on Ultimate, but the leveling process, at least with a lot of the abilities, did seem to be a little bit off. But I haven't gotten to Ultimate yet, so I'm not really able to say 100% on how the balance is with all of that. Also, it's insane to expect perfect balance with a mod like this, especially seeing how it's a one-man project, and it's the first version of it, so I can definitely give this a pass. I just wanted to mention that it is a thing with this mod with some skills, but occasionally checking into the mod's Discord server shows that the creator is taking feedback from many of the mod's players, which is really great to see. So I personally really enjoy this mod, and I'm glad that I have installed it and played with it, since it has been really fun to basically relearn all of the abilities and classes. I'm really excited to continue with this in the endgame, and to see what cool builds I can make, and for future updates that are mentioned in the Nexus page, such as new skills to rare item suffix pools, and legendary adjustments to fit with the new skills. I'd really recommend giving this mod a try if you're already experienced with Grim Dawn and want something new, since it's basically a way to completely relearn and re-experience the game that makes it feel really different. So thank you guys for watching. I apologize that this video took longer to upload than my usual upload schedule, and my only excuse for that is that I've been pretty much addicted to the Path of Exile Legion League, which has been causing me to procrastinate really hard on a lot of things. I appreciate all of my subscribers for sticking around though, and I do promise that there are many more Grim Dawn videos to come out in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for more, and once again, thank you for watching.